Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of International Chutney Podcasters. Uh, Today we have Animation Kolkata, Avik in Germany, and Rishabh in the Netherlands. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, hi, hi.
And the topic of discussion today is funny stories from weddings, whether it's your own wedding or a wedding that you've been to. So
Eh,
not everybody in this of our participants here are married people. We'll let the married guy start first. So
Yes.
up to Animesh and Avik,
Yeah,
whichever one of one of you wants to volunteer.
Now, Animesh got married before, like earlier than a week, so Animesh will
Is the
start.
first one down?
Yes.
yeah. So I would say I am a lucky one to get married in the pre-COVID days. So because weddings now, I don't know if they can be the same again. I hope that they'll stay the same, but you never know. So, anyways, thanks for letting me go first. But I'm not really going to say anything from my wedding. Uh, before that, I have been a wedding photographer for slightly more than 3 years, and I have a lot of stories. So maybe I'll just pick out one or two from those days and share those with the audience. So one of the most funny incidents I remember happened in a wedding I was covering, and it was, I guess, I've covered more than 70 weddings during my career, and out of those only two were in Patna. So this was the second wedding in Patna, and it's in a hotel which was supposedly one of the best in Patna, and everything's going great. And in the it's a night wedding. All North Indian weddings are mostly night weddings. So the time comes for the actual time comes when the groom and everybody is supposed to take their seats around the havan, and that moment a confusion arises. Where is the havan? So supposedly there was something was lost in translation, and the panditji, the priest, thought that the the bride's side is bringing the havan, and the bride's father understood that the havan is the panditji priest's responsibility and he will get the havan kund. When I'm saying havan, it's a havan kund. So it's like it's usually a metallic thing. If you sometimes they make it out of bricks or earth also. But if you're having it in a hotel, it's usually a metallic container where you build that fire. So, and the bride's father is thinking that the priest is supposed to bring. And at the end of day, nobody has brought the Havan Kund, and at that last moment, like it's I guess it must be like 1 or 2 o'clock in the night when all this is going down. There's no possibility of getting a Havan Kund from anywhere at that moment of time. Everybody's getting frantic. uh, Things have boiled down to a very, very nasty scene where people are openly blaming each other. Fist fights might just break out. At that time, after some discussion among themselves, along with the hotel officials, uh, a compromise was arrived at, and the compromise looked something like I'll share a picture of it. I'll share a picture if I can find the picture from that particular wedding. I will share a picture of it. Uh, the compromise consists of a bowl, of a small bowl that you use for like dal and paisam or
I
something
was
like
thinking,
that.
thinking, think. I was thinking something on those lines, like a saucepan or something. They put the fire, like woods in a saucepan, and they lit it up or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even like the wooden sticks were missing, since whoever brings the Havan Kund brings the wooden sticks and the ghee and everything to go with it, right? So nothing is there. So so the hotel guys give them a bowl. Okay, not even a big one, like a small one, like a dal, like where you keep your dal when you have your lunch or dinner, and they give you a box of matchsticks. So you take out the matchsticks. They give you some cotton and some cooking oil and some ghee from their kitchen. So you put the matchsticks inside the bowl. You put some cotton. You put some oil in it and put some ghee, and then the Panditji lights that, and that works as the havan.
Oh my
So
God.
it
That's like a
was,
miniature fire, is it?
yeah, it was like, it was,
They should have just like gone with a candle or something, you know? Like placed a
yeah,
candle,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. Maybe that might have worked too, but I
नहीं
don't
नहीं
know. Like,
कैंडल थोड़ा
it's
वेस्टर्न हो जाता. ये स्टिल ये मेकशिफ्ट दिया बनाया गया है. पंडित जी इज मोर कंफर्टेबल विद दिस.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Being a wedding photographer, I have like one of those standard shots where I frame the havan and the fire from the havan with the couple going all around it. So those are like some of the stock images like I always shoot. I always used to shoot from every wedding. In this wedding, it looked so sad. Like there's a bowl and there's like a tiny flame from it, and like they are just going around the bowl.
Hmm.
So I felt really sorry for that couple, and this also goes to show like how things can go really wrong at a wedding. So yeah, that's first on my list of funny things that have happened. So I guess now maybe we can listen to something. Let's say, Ovik, share something from your experiences.
I haven't been to a lot of weddings, uh,
Your
but
last wedding was your own wedding, right?
yeah. So like that's the wedding that's fresh in my memory. But my wedding actually like went quite smooth. Okay, there was no hiccups as such. Everything happened on time and everything. But the only funny thing that I remember is like there was a problem with my dhoti. Okay, so before the wedding happened, I was wearing something which is called the dhoti pant. So it's kind of like a trouser. Okay, but when the ceremony started, I had to actually wear a proper dhoti, and so there were like two priests. There are usually two priests at the ceremony, one from the bride side and one from the groom side. And the groom's priest was supposed to like help me with the dhoti. Okay. Uh, anyway, there was some kind of a miscommunication and stuff, and I had to like go to one of the toilets in the wedding venue to wear the dhoti. Animesh was there too to help me wear the dhoti. So anyway, so the priest did a very bad job. Animesh obviously didn't have a lot of clue like how to like put on a dhoti, or so when I like came back to my to the ceremony area kind of a thing, so my dhoti was like literally like falling off. Okay. And there was a little fight that started with my cousin and my mama, that like who is better at like putting on a dhoti and how to put on a dhoti and whatever. So anyway, so finally the dhoti got fixed, but in the meantime, like our priest, like he kind of like got so much galis. He got so much galis, and he kind of, I think, got depressed and he took off. Okay, so the ceremony kind of happened with only one priest. So which was good in a way,
Which is
but
enough,
I
I
was
think.
actually like,
एक
yeah.
पंडित
It's
enough.
good in a way. Yeah. And I was at some point I was looking like, where is my priest? Where is the priest from our side? So someone just told like he just got depressed and he left because he couldn't like help you put on the dhoti. Yeah.
Like Pandit ji
So
ambition was
yeah,
not fulfilled. Okay. Like
yeah,
मैं
exactly.
धोती नहीं पहना. What kind of fucking पंडित I am? छी छी नहीं. मैं जा रहा हूँ. मैं और पंडित नहीं रह
Yeah,
सकता.
धोती ने मुझे धो दिया.
yeah. I think, ev- and he's a priest in our neighborhood temple. Okay, So every time I pass by the temple, like I think he avoids eye contact or something, like like
You
he kind of
remind him
pretends
of
that he
his
doesn't know me.
failure. So that's why.
Yeah.
Every time you walk past the temple, na, make sure you have like a dhoti over your shoulder to remind him कि यही
Yeah.
वो धोती था जो
Yeah.
तुमने पहना. Thanks for sharing your dhoti story. So now maybe Rishabh, time for you to
Okay, this is not
share
exactly a
something.
wedding incident. It is something related to the wedding. So I think last year, right? Yes, last year in July, August. I don't remember exactly when. So we went to Slovenia for my friend's wedding, who is a colleague of mine in my department. So we were a group of like 8 9 friends. We are like a group. We meet often. हम लोग खाने जाते हैं, पीने जाते हैं. So we were all invited to the wedding, and wedding was in Slovenia. It went well, and it was a normal Christian wedding. Not much hoo-ha or something. Not much decoration. Just in a nice location. It was like maximum 30 35 people, rings exchanged, and there was a priest, and that's it. The wedding was very normal, but the location was very nice. And um, and then the plan was we all go to neighboring Croatia, because Croatia is known for its beaches and seaside resorts. So a lot of people in those part of the Europe, they go to Croatia for some fun or some holiday house. It's like the
See,
Florida
see these
of.
see these days Croatia is mostly known for being King's Landing in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I don't watch Game of Thrones, so please massacre me in comments. So we so the plan was we go to Croatia, and we rented cars. And okay, now the funny thing in European Union is Slovenia is in Schengen. That means you can just go there. There is no requirement of visa if you have a Schengen visa from Italy, France, Netherlands or whatever. But Croatia is not officially in Schengen. It will be, I think, in next 2 3 years. So when you're crossing from Slovenia to Croatia, you need to show your
See,
passport.
Rishabh, sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you in the middle, but when we said that we'll be talking about our wedding experience, I know the EU is a marriage of sorts, but this may not be the wedding experience we are looking for.
अरे नहीं, wait, this has very interesting story. So all of us after the wedding, हम लोग एक दो गाड़ी रेंट करके we went to Croatia. Now you are if you have a Schengen visa, you are allowed entry in Croatia for 30 days. ठीक है? But there is a border post, so there's a checking. And so we had a Chinese couple with us, and the girl, she forgot her passport in another car. So we were in two cars. One car was behind like 30 minutes, and one car was ahead. So we were in that car, and the other car was coming like after 30 minutes or something. So we got stopped in the border, and police checked us all. And then she said, "Kiare, my passport is there," and blah blah. And we were thinking, "Oh shit, she might be caught." And okay, we were joking. We know not much will happen. So, but क्या हुआ after that? The police said, "नहीं, you have to wait for the other car to come with your passport. Other than that, we cannot let you in. What you can do is you can park your car beside the post and wait there." तो हम लोग गाड़ी को वहाँ पे लगा के, दो इंडियन, एक ईरानी, एक दो चाइनीज और एक आई थिंक टर्किश, हम लोग सब इमिग्रेंट कंट्रीज से वहाँ पे खड़े थे, बैठे थे, एंड देवर कार्स पासिंग बाय, और सारे जो वाइट पीपल कार से सब हमको ऐसे खिड़की से देख रहे, अच्छा ये इमिग्रेंट्स हैं, अभी ये पकड़े गए हैं और समथिंग. तो द एक्सपीरियंस वाज सो सो मतलब बिटर स्वीट. ऑन वन हैंड वी वर इंजॉइंग, अरे ये देख के हमको इमिग्रेंट समझ रहे हैं, हाँ हाँ हम लोग अभी काम, एंड ऑन द अदर हैंड एक्चुअली दे वर थिंकिंग दैट अरे इनको पकड़ लिया है, इनको अभी जेल में डालेंगे और सम शिट लाइक, बिकॉज वी आर ऑल लुकिंग नॉट वाइट, सो वी ईरानी, चाइनीज, इंडियन, सो दैट इज, एंड वी वर देयर फॉर अ गुड 10 15 minutes. तो एंड थोड़ा सा हम लोग का फट भी रहा था कि भाई क्या होगा क्या होगा क्या होगा. बट इवेंचुअली इट वेंट वेल. बट इट वाज एक्चुअली दोस काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस जहाँ पे तुमको रोक लिया कि सर पासपोर्ट नहीं है, जाइए आपको जेल कर देंगे and all that thing. So that was quite close to that. So this is one experience related to the wedding I have.
अच्छा,
Interesting.
थैंक यू,
Hmm.
थैंक यू। बट हम लोग को यूजुअली ये वाला एक्सपीरियंस एयरपोर्ट में घुसने से प्लेन तक बैठने तक हो जाता है बीच में, ये वाला पूरा
नहीं,
एक्सपीरियंस। सो
you are carrying legal documents, so nobody stops you. हाँ सर जाइए। यहाँ पे नहीं, सर रुकिए, कोना में खड़े रहिए, और आने जाने वाले लोग देख रहे हैं, अच्छा है साले ये इमिग्रेंट है, ये साले आके नौकरी लेंगे, इनका गांड मार दो, दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंकिंग।
but anyways, thanks for that story, Rishabh, and the whole geopolitical explanation that went before it so that we understood the joke. So, okay,
Okay,
anyways,
yeah,
so
yeah.
coming back to the topic, राजदीप ने अपने हाथ खड़े कर दिए हैं, and so I guess मतलब
Hey, I will go again.
that
I
is
will
why
go again.
you have a funny story that has Rajdeep in it.
No, those are two things which don't meet in a Venn diagram. If this is Rajdeep, this is funny, then they don't meet.
It's a cross. There's some
वेट
trouble in the technicality in the cross border communication. थोड़ा कभी कभी emotions पहुंचते नहीं है तो
Hmm. Hmm.
Then I will go with
Yes.
my accumulated experiences of attending weddings in my family and relatives.
ठीक है, but make sure you do not exceed 5 sentences. Just because it's relatives and बहुत सदमा पहुंचा होगा, I gave you
Acha,
one extra sentence.
five
ठीक है.
sentences. First, I didn't like attending any of those weddings.
oh my
Second,
god.
I only attended because I wanted to eat some nice food. Number three, I would always miss out on
Vegetarian food.
some variety of food. Fourth sentence, there would be lot of foods, and then after some time I will finish, and then I will realize अच्छा इसके बाद भी और एक नया काउंटर था. Last, every time I would come back from wedding, my
Non-veg वाला
grandfather
counter.
my grandfather would ask, ये वाला मिठाई खाए? हाँ खाया। ये वाला मिठाई खाए? हाँ खाया। ये वाला नहीं। क्या ये वाला? अरे यही तो मेन मिठाई था, ये नहीं खाया? अरे शादी में जाके बर्बाद हो गई। ये वाला मिठाई नहीं खाए, कैसे हो सकता है? एवरी टाइम। So these are my 5 sentences.
It's somewhat funny. It's from my brother's wedding, and this was where. So for my brother's wedding, I somehow convinced my brother that all the photo and videography will be done by Animesh, and this was Animesh's, I think technically second, but first. My first port in India was Bangalore because Animesh was in Bangalore at the time, and from then on, I think for a week we were just traveling to my hometown and different places around, and back to Bangalore. So on the way back after the wedding, we had a stopover in Kolkata because the flight from Kolkata to Bangalore was in the evening, and we landed quite early, and there was a lot of buffer time, and Animesh wanted to go out. I wasn't very sure, but I just took his word for it because he knows Kolkata more than I do, obviously. So I went out when we went to a mall, and then I suddenly had this brilliant idea that I'm gonna buy a phone and a laptop. The phone
A,
from my
a,
mom
a,
and
a laptop,
and,
huh?
and a laptop from my
Yeah.
dad because my mom lost her phone during the wedding. Uh, and we were got somehow I had this idea in my head that I'm gonna just buy them and I drop it to a courier service in the airport, assuming everything is gonna be open, and then they'll ship it back to my parents. So we get all the stuff, then we go back to the airport. We had a boarding process, but I think we had about an hour or so. We go to the courier counter of all these different airlines, and either they're closing or they're not accepting couriers at that point of time. Um, and basically everything was Hobina. And then and then I was pretty disappointed. I was like, what am I gonna do? I've got this laptop and I've got this phone with me. I can't carry it back. And nobody is in Kolkata to hand it over. Animesh is traveling with me to Bangalore. And then suddenly Animesh starts speaking really smoothly in Bengali, and then one of the courier people started
Yeah,
listening to
because
him.
he is Bengali.
I all the time I was speaking in Hindi and nobody listened to me. Animesh starts speaking in Bengali, and then we went inside the office of some guy who I was able to strike up a conversation with. Oh, where are you from? I'm from. He's
This
from
was Air
Duliajan,
Air
and then
India.
yeah, it was Air India, and the company my dad works for. He used to work for that point of time. They have a lot of business with Air India, and they ship couriers apparently every day from Calcutta or other places to back to Dibrugarh. And somehow that he we were able to. Uh, Persuade him or get him on our side to help us do this. After filling out some forms, he was like, "Don't worry, this will be done." I was like, and we were getting really tight onto our flight. It was like the airport terminal is somewhere else. This courier counter is somewhere else, and there's half an hour to our flight. It was going, you know, coming down, and we were still signing forms at the counter. Finally, we got out like 20 minutes before, and then we were out running looking for a taxi because it was too far to run. It wasn't exactly far, but it was too far to just run. And I found one taxi,
I know
but
this
with no
story too.
drivers
Yeah.
on it.
Mm.
There's no driver. I went to the taxi. The the passenger window was open. Not the passenger, sorry, the driver window was open. I went and started honking, and then honking so bad. This guy came out. It was like really, not really. Uh,
He was
it
stoned.
was quite tired, I guess. And I was literally shouting at him that, "Bhaiya, chalo, we want to go." I was feeling bad. Like I was actually shouting at him and scolding him. That was good. We have to go to the other terminal. He was like, "You want a taxi to go to the terminal from here?" It's like it's not even distance. It's like we have a flight in 15-20 minutes, and somehow okay, he took us there. When we got to the terminal, uh, that guy looked really sad. Maybe I don't know because I was shouting too much on him, and I was asking him. I was patting him on his back and was like, "Bhaiya, kitna? How much?" And he was like, "I don't know. कुछ भी दे दो, जो भी है." It's the first time I was like, it's the first time ever somebody is telling me कुछ भी दे दो. They're not asking for money. It's like
N-
he was
I
like.
think Rajdeep has solved the issue of how to approach a cab. साला चिल्ला के गाली देके करो, then
Uh,
पैसा
and
नहीं
finally, he was like 20 rupees. And like, no, there was no change. I slapped the 50 rupees on him, and we just ran out of there. Somehow went past security, and
Did,
then
did
No,
you
no,
catch the plane?
no. Before that, I would like to say something. Before that, Rajdeep, you gave him a 50 rupees note. I remember,
yes,
and we actually paid him. I remember 40 rupees. So you paid 50 and then you ran. But I waited to take the 10 rupees change back.
oh yes,
That
I
is
do. I do
very,
because
very.
I was just
This is
dashing
miser.
out, and then you
Such a
came, and then
such
you
a
ran
Yeah.
back,
miser.
and
Mm.
That is very true anime style. मेरा
Mm.
चेंज मेरे को चाहिए, फ्लाइट गया भाड़ में, मैं दूसरा एक्स कर लूंगा, लेकिन
oh,
पैसा चाहिए
Mm.
मेरे को.
Mm.
we had our
Mm.
boarding
So,
passes, so going through the first security people was easy. Then I was really worried because the boarding closes 20 minutes before, right? So the flight departure, and we were well passed into it. We went, and fortunately, at that point of time, it was like 8 p.m. There was nobody in the X-ray machines. There was no queue in the X-ray machines. So the CISF guards saw two guys running at them with with their backpacks. We just threw our backpacks into the X-ray machine, and we made it through. And then we were into the gates, and fortunately, the flight had gotten delayed a few minutes, and people were boarding. People were boarding, and we somehow made it to the last to the end of the queue. We're sweating like anything in the Kolkata heat, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was that
exactly. I
was a
remember
really like
everybody was
memorable
staring at
experience with
us.
Animesh I have, and
अरे भाई, Animesh also made me almost miss a flight to Netherlands. That is another story for another day.
Why? I did not make you,
मतलब
dude. I did not make
मेरे
you.
लाइफ में कभी नहीं हुआ है कि लोग बोल रहे हैं मिस्टर ऋषभ भंडिया प्लीज बोर्ड द फ्लाइट, और मैं आखिरी बंदा हूँ जिसके फ्लाइट रुका हुआ है. ठीक है, मैं चढ़ा और फ्लाइट टेक ऑफ किया.
but you assisted in being
Well,
funny because I forgot about the 10 rupee thing. But yes, that, that was the
You
best.
forgot the funny thing in the entire story. Wow.
The real funny part
this
was
episode
how
should be
anime sweet talked in Bengali and then got everybody to ship
yeah,
the
because he
courier,
is Bengali.
and they
That's
wouldn't
why.
listen to me
Ask him.
speaking in
Ask
Hindi.
Animesh.
So yeah, I actually happen to remember one interesting thing from Avik's wedding. Mostly his expressions. So in most Indian Hindu weddings, there's this moment comes when you're supposed to apply the red sindoor on the forehead of your bride. So the same thing happened in Avik's wedding, obviously. And the Panditji was like, he's asking Avik. I remember he was asking him to put on the sindoor in a anatomically impossible way.
Yeah.
So, so it was
Yeah.
more like use your.
I have to use my left hand to put the sindoor on my bride's forehead, but I cannot look at her. Okay. So I have to do like this. Okay, like this, something like that. And
Achha, now, if the sindoor goes to someone else other than your bride, then you marry someone else.
there is no other girl in close proximity. That's not gonna happen.
No,
But
Achha, maybe
there
Panditji
were.
was
No, no.
maybe
Panditji, the
he
Panditji
was a
is-
closet gay. अरे काश मेरे को ही लगा दे सिंदूर, काश काश देखते
अरे
हैं
नहीं
ये
नहीं,
trick
there
चलता है.
were more girls in close proximity who were holding her, like holding something of her. So there were two
Yeah.
more girls actually at
Yeah.
that point of time. So
And I
anyway,
think-
so that was.
and my wife, she was telling me like, please don't get the sindoor on my nose. Okay, like aim for the forehead. Aim for the forehead. I think she was like, like whispering in my ear or something like that. Yeah.
And Avik, did you succeed?
No,
That
no.
I did. Hey, I succeeded. Therefore, I'm married now. Okay. So, okay.
We will
That's-
hear the true story from
that's-
Animesh
That's
now.
proof enough that I succeeded. Okay.
So
Nah,
this is
Animesh, go on.
See, this is what actually happened. Like that whole thing happened multiple times. So maybe once Avik actually managed to get it on without spilling it all over her nose, but it actually ended with lots of that spilled on her nose. And I guess it was a way of Avik like saying to his wife that see, now like disappointments are a part of life from now. So better get used
मेरा
to it
aim
from
कभी
now.
भी ठीक. It was Avik saying मेरा aim कभी ठीक नहीं लगेगा. Get used to that.
That's a very you are so dirty, man. You are so dirty.
Hey, he meant the bathroom का commode का issue.
Yeah, मतलब क्या बोलूं मैं, कितना
That's
सही.
dirty
I'm
too.
so young and innocent.
The only factor that actually prevents us from having more content for this particular podcast is the fact that both Rishabh and Rajdeep have not lived up to their parents' expectations.
अच्छा नहीं, then okay, if there are no more stories and roasting of me and Rajdeep goes on, I have story on Animesh's wedding. Good things about Animesh's wedding. Both Rajdeep and Avik can vouch for me for this. One of the best wedding I've ever attended, or maybe the best wedding I've ever attended.
Yeah, I agree. This I
Especially-
agree. Agree.
Especially in terms of Indian wedding, because Indian weddings are so non-creative
Not
and
in
mundane.
not in
especially
terms
my
of
relative
not in
weddings.
terms of food though. Not in terms of food though. It's like everything was
Yeah,
vegetarian.
yeah.
Everything was vegetarian. There was
Food
no
was
meat in it.
awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
Very,
food was awesome.
Very
Like,
much
but I don't.
kudos
yeah.
to his sister-in-law and brother-in-law for arranging that. The food was fucking awesome. And why I like the food so much, we'll come to that. First of
Because
all,
you would
wedding
have.
was awesome.
Okay.
Nah, Vavik, wait. The wedding was awesome,
Hmm.
and there was a lot more creativity, lot more engagement, lot more fun compared to other
Yeah,
weddings,
I
especially
mean, I
my weddings of
was
my
by far
relatives.
the best one
So
uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I haven't attended many
and
weddings of my friends, to be honest. But
Hmm.
yeah. Now coming to the part where Animesh tricked us. So Animesh initially like मैं मेरा कुछ it happened in April. It went like I think the anniversary was like 1 week or 2 weeks before. And so we all prepped up. We came. नई Animesh का शादी है. One love story from college is going to give awesome. ठीक है.
Do you
And he was in
remember
the
his list of demands? Like he created a WhatsApp
अरे
group and
हाँ, I'm coming
he
to
was
that ना.
posting
So
demand
so
after
he
demand
he
after
called
demand.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he told me कि this is a DIY wedding. I said अच्छा ये ऐसा wedding कौन सा होता है? I've never heard of it. Do it yourself wedding. So maybe he's arranging everything himself and blah blah. उसी को वो do it yourself बोल रहा है. अच्छा ठीक है. So I also live in Calcutta. So from Calcutta we took a train to Sikkim. The wedding was in Sikkim. Very nice location. Very you can see Kanchenjunga and all. ट्रेन में भी कुछ नहीं बोला. And then we went there. Then अच्छा ठीक है. Rajdeep, you will handle this. Rishabh, you are electrical engineer, handle all electrical stuff. And literally, he sent ये है इलेक्ट्रिक का मिस्त्री लियासन विथ हिम और यहाँ पे जितना भी लाइटिंग है तुम मैनेज करोगे और लाइटिंग में कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होना चाहिए. तो फ्रॉम डे वन सुबह 9 बजे से हम लोग लग गए हैं. उसका वेडिंग का वेन्यू तैयार हो रहा है. कोई लाइट ठीक कर रहा है, कोई बांस लगा रहा है, कोई पंडाल सजा रहा है, कोई कुछ कर रहा है. आई एम लाइक ओके दिस इज नॉट द वेडिंग आई वाज होपिंग. सो फिर पूरा दिन हम लोग लेबर की तरह काम करते थे और फिर रात को खाना खाते थे. इसलिए खाना टेस्टेड
No,
मच
it was
मोर बेटर.
it was like a
बट
full-time job, you know, like it was like 8 hours a day.
इट वाज अ फुल
Okay,
टाइम जॉब.
no
लाइक हम
salary,
लोग को लगा
no
जाके मस्ती
salary.
करेंगे.
Okay,
नहीं,
no
कोई
salary.
मस्ती नहीं. वहां
The
पे
only
काम
the
करो.
only the only reward was like at the end of the day you get a bottle of beer,
हाँ.
okay, and not more than one bottle,
हाँ.
okay, just one bottle. That's it. Okay.
एंड वो पूरा दिन काम करो एंड दिस एंड इफ यू
Yeah.
मिस ऑन समथिंग और समथिंग ही विल कम चार्जिंग एट यू. अरे साला ये लाइट ऐसे क्यों लगा? तुम क्या कर, तुम इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर ऐसा है क्या? नहीं सॉरी साहब, सॉरी साहब कर रहे हैं हम लोग. सर सर प्लीज थोड़ा माफ कीजिए सर, हम लोग थोड़ा इधर देख रहे हैं, हो गया थोड़ा. फिर एक बल्ब
I-
फ्यूज हो गया बीच में. मेरा इतना लाइफ में कभी नहीं फटा होगा जब उस समय फटा, जब एक बल्ब फ्यूज हो गया कि शिट अब मैं क्या करूं. आई
I
वॉज
think
सो इंगेज्ड इन द, मतलब जब शांति से शादी हो गया ना, आई वॉज मोर हैप्पी देन अनिमेश कि मैं ये शादी करवाया, मैं सब अरेंजमेंट किया. आई वॉज नेवर इंगेज्ड इन सो मच इन वन वेडिंग इन, लाइक आई वुड नेवर बी सो इंगेज्ड इवन इन माई वेडिंग एज मच आई वॉज इंगेज्ड इन अनिमेश's wedding.
I I would like to add to this a little bit. Like the first thing that I remember was like the build up to the wedding, you know, like
Ah,
that was quite
yeah, yeah,
exciting. I mean, like Onimesh created a WhatsApp group and stuff, and like people started like taking dumps everywhere, like, you know, like something about a SIM card and something about like hiding the SIM card in one's ass or something. Okay, those were there, but the thing was like I was like really at some point it became quite funny. Like every day Onimesh like posted some new demand. Okay, today can you guys bring a cricket bat? Okay, can you guys bring blue t-shirts? Can you guys bring a hippopotamus? Yeah, stuff like that. Like the list of demands kind of like kept on increasing and increasing. The other thing that I remember was like uh, the setting up of the plastic sheet on
yeah,
top of the wedding
that
venue.
was
You know?
a bad
That was-
idea, man.
That was such an
kept falling
exercise.
down.
That was such an exercise. Okay.
और हम लोग खड़े हो ऐसे खड़े हैं
Yeah.
प्लास्टिक शीट को ऊपर रख के और बीच में वेडिंग
I was standing on some like asbestos sheet on top of a building. Okay, like I was like standing and like shaking like a leaf because
yeah.
next like right next to me there was like a sheer drop of some kind. Okay, and these guys are like standing down like fiddling with the plastic sheet for hour and hour. And I remember this Rajdev was actually like trying to like put some physics ka formula and stuff, like the wind will come like this, so like alpha equal to beta, so something of this
It
sort.
was
I
like
mean, like
if we
he
stitch the if we tie it on these ends, it's probably not gonna work.
uh,
We should tie it this way
hmm.
and that way. It was like
Rajdeep like really went into went really deep into fluid mechanics. Okay, like how the plastic sheet will behave when the wind kind of blows from the Kanchenjunga's direction, or from the other direction. Okay, so yeah, that was I
Eh,
think quite
I
funny.
have to add another thing. I have to add another thing. मेरे relatives have asked me time and again, multiple zillion times, please dance in our wedding. Please dance in our wedding. I'm like, I don't dance. I ain't dance. ठीक है? Dance and me no bitches. बट अनिमेश के शादी में मैं फंकी टप में उसके साथ नाचा हूँ, स्टेप्स का प्रैक्टिस किया हूँ और पूरा गाना का वर्डिंग सीखा हूँ, ठीक है और हम लोग ऐसे नाचे हैं कि दीपा बेचारी डर के शी शिफ्टेड.
Yeah, yeah,
आई एक्चुअली डांस्ड एट हिज वेडिंग.
yeah,
yeah.
we danced. Yes, I remember.
ए और एक पॉइंट फाइनल थिंग अगेन. As a true blue spy loving guy I am, I managed to figure out where Animes's juta and chappal were hidden.
Arre.
And I found out,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to pay any money. I found out how where it was hidden. पूरा मैं track करके निकाल लिया. तो जी लोग छुपाए.
I'll give you full credit for that, and you did it so smoothly कि the लड़की वाले party thought कि हम लोगों से ही गुम हो गया. They didn't even bring it up.
या
वो लोग
मैं
डर गए
जाके
कि
मैं पहले जाके देख लिया कहाँ पे है, फॉलो वॉलो करके थोड़ा सा ऐसा नजर वजर देख के, और वो रूम वो लोग लॉक कर दिए थे. फिर मैं कहीं से किसी को कुछ झूठ बोल के चाबी जुगाड़ किया, चप्पल निकाला, अपने पास सेफ रखा. तो वो बाद में जब चप्पल लेने गए दे थॉट हम लोग से गुम हो गया. तो अनिमेश या
Yeah.
yeah, so they never even like came up to me to ask कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ. They actually on the other hand kept quiet कि shit हम लोगों ने गुम कर दिया. अब if somebody like says something हम लोग का बेइज्जती हो जाएगा, तो let's all keep quiet. बहुत बाद में they actually came to know that it was pilfered off by you guys. तो मतलब खतरा, मतलब काश हर ग्रूम को तुम जैसे दोस्त मिले, मतलब बहुत पैसा बचेगा.
Yeah.
Raw and Ivy, if you're watching this, I am ready to be recruited.
Yeah, that's a very nice discussion we are having about my wedding. Now, before ending off, I would like just harp back to our original topic, which was funny stories, exclusively funny stories. And I think I have a couple more of those from my wedding career days. I actually have more than a couple of those, but let's talk about only a couple, shall we? So, one wedding I remember, which I captured right here in Kolkata. I've captured very few weddings in Kolkata, and it was one of those. And it's a funny and a tragedy at the same time. Again, at that moment, it was more of a funny thing, because right in the middle of the weddings, this bride suddenly whispers into my ears, can you get me a taxi? I want to leave this wedding right now. I'm not sure about this, and I need to leave. Can
Holy
you
shit.
get me a taxi?
My God, it's like a movie.
This is one of those stories, huh? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And my first reaction was to laugh. Ha ha, that's a nice one. And I went back to capturing photos again. And after like a couple of minutes, she again like just calls me, like just इशारा करती है, and like कि इधर आओ, मैं मजाक नहीं कर रही हूँ. Can you actually go outside, get me a taxi, ask him to wait right in front of the wedding hall. I will get up and I'll just run to the taxi and I'll leave. Like, I was like, fuck, are you actually serious about this? And apparently she was serious about that. And she was like, "Yeah, I thought I was sure about this, but I don't think I am, and I'm not ready for this, and I need to like just I can't say this right now, right? So I just need to escape." So initially, I was just dumbfounded on what to do. And then I was like, okay, if you really need me to call the taxi, I will. If that is absolutely what you need me to do. And I guess she had second thoughts and she just asked me to hold on, like maybe I'll tell you at what moment. But in a half an hour or so, the wedding itself, the rituals were all done, and her mood changed quite a bit, and she was like normal and joking, and I was like, were you actually serious about that call a taxi thing? And she was like, nah, I was just like joking around, and I didn't know the bride. I just had met her a day before, and she was a very outgoing, chatty type of a girl. So I thought, yeah, maybe she was joking. But at that moment, she seemed very serious. But let's fast forward things a bit. 1 month down the line, they had already divorced. So
Shit.
I guess she might not have
Ah.
been joking.
Uh,
So yeah, that is
Sad.
a experience I initially categorized as
So by
funny,
the
and then it was a tragedy.
by the time you process the photos of the wedding was over.
Yeah. No, I never even I never even completed processing the photos because I just started the processing of the photos, and then a small bird, like a common friend that I actually met at the wedding. I didn't know that person was going to be there. We just met, and that person later on said to me that there's supposedly some problems happening in their marriage, like within 2 weeks. So they might actually split up. So upon hearing that, I actually stopped processing the photos. So I was like, let me process other weddings first, and I'll get back to if they last. The photographs will definitely last. So but after a couple of more weeks, I tried calling up the bride, and I never managed to get through to her. So till this day, I have not processed the photos. And obviously, after a week around that, I heard for like confirmed news that they have split up and divorced. So yeah, that was one more experience.
but you
And
got paid something, right?
I
For
was
for
gonna
going
ask.
there
yeah,
and like clicking the photos
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Thankfully, I used to charge 50% of all fees upfront, and since this was in Kolkata, I didn't have to spend any money on like
Mm.
flights or all those kinds of things. So yeah, thankfully, I didn't end up with a loss, but still, it made me much more fearful of accepting anything less than a 50% upfront fee later on. So yeah, that was one experience, and uh, maybe I can squeeze in. I just so many weddings happened. There was this wedding where the wedding hall got flooded.
Oh,
So because the situation was something like Rishabh's when he was mentioning that he lives. So the wedding hall was actually at a level lower than the surrounding surface the yeah. So it was like a basement kind of, not even a basement. It's like a mezzanine basement in between
right.
a basement and first floor, ground floor flat. But and there was torrential rainfall, and a lot of water had accumulated right outside the wedding hall. So it had two gates. So one gate which linked to the rest of the hotel, and the other which linked to the outside garden. So somebody actually accidentally opened up the gate that led to the outside garden, and suddenly you have these hundreds of liters of water streaming down the hallway, and everyone is leaving in a panic. It took me like 20 seconds to figure out what is happening. The moment I figured out, oh shit, it's like a like a flood of sorts.
It's
I
Titanic kind wala
yeah,
moment. Okay.
exactly. Like people are running, like things are getting thrown over, like a complete hodgepodge. I just ran. I got my camera bag, which was kept on the floor. Otherwise, that might have been very messy. I just picked up my bag and I also bolted. So yeah, that's another experience. And yeah, lastly, I'm going to make this last. I'm not going to continue this further. But yeah, there was also this time when the bride's dress almost caught fire because
Oh shit.
yeah, because a halogen dropped on her.
Oh,
So she was actually sitting on mattress beside the oven.
right.
So the wedding is going on, and is this halogen kept on a bamboo stick. So somebody walking past just happened to ram that bamboo stick, and it was not that firmly planted or something. It just fell down, and those halogen lamps can get really hot. So it fell right down onto the mattress, and the mattress, I guess, was a very combustible mattress because it caught fire in a moment. And the bride was wearing a very heavy lehenga. She was not able to get up herself. So, and it took people 5 to 10 seconds to realize that she is not being able to get up herself. So suddenly, like, some people rushed over, held her hand, just like picked up like a bag of groceries, and thankfully she was saved. The half of mattress was gone though, and yeah, so that's also an experience. So, anyways, I guess that wraps up our episode on funny wedding stories. I hope you guys liked us, and please keep subscribing to us and watching our videos. It really gives us a lot of encouragement to continue doing this. And thanks a lot again for your support, and we will see you soon again. Bye bye from everybody of us here.
Bye.
Bye.